जय माता। चरणं शरणं रमाम्बिके, चरणं शरणं त्र्यम्बके. Vedic prayers were rising up from the Purohits, extolling Chandika Devi, when Mother with lightning speed went past the myriad Dibams and seated herself in front of the lamp in the center where the Tantri had invoked Mahakali. Mother's face grew bigger. There was a rosy glow on it, resembling Mahakali who evokes terror and power. The Tantri, overcome with devotion at seeing the Saguna manifestation of Kali before him, started offering flowers at her feet. Mother's face became fiery red, while her eyes became long and flashing. The Hungara Nada rose from her many a time. Mother's form too appeared bigger. In that intense moment, we saw, as in idols of Mahakali, the awesome sight of the mother with the long blood red tongue coming out in the fullness of Mahabhava. The aura of power emanated from her while her victorious Attahasa resounded in the hall. Pandemonium broke in the hall, with all striving to get a glimpse of Chandika Devi in flesh and blood. Supplicatory cries rose from all. The Purohits showed the arati to Mother, and his whole body trembling, he prostrated before Mother. Her two divine hands were placed on his head in an imperious gesture of benediction. At that soul-stirring moment, all hearts felt the truth that Chandika was before them, real and vivid. The Tantri later said that Supreme Shakti alone could have dared to occupy the place where Chandika was invoked, and because of generation of Kali worship done by his family, he was blessed to worship her and receive the blessing from Kali herself. As quickly as she had come, in the twinkling of an eye, Mother was inside the shrine seated before the Vigraha of Ramambika. There she sat, her face and form chiseled in incredible beauty, while a heavenly fragrance emanated from her. Devotees thronged to go near and have her darshan. The Maharani went up and garlanded Mother. The Maharaja and other members of the royal family offered garlands at the daughter's feet. As hundreds of devotees offered flowers, Mother's consort offered arati to Mother and the Vigrahas. The visit was a triumphant declaration and acceptance of the oneness of both the mothers. Each day there occurred further revelations. Mother and her consort were invited to the palace where she was received as Divine Mother herself. In the grand bhajan at the palace, all the great bhavas surfaced in Mother. But the most moving bhava that touched the hearts of the royal family was the sublime manifestation of Sri Padmanabha, their Ishtadevata. A beautiful song praising Sri Padmanabha was sung, and all the members of the royal family offered garlands to Mother. The currents of devotion that were generated overpowered every soul there. Towards the end of the stay, Mother was invited to Nagarkoil by Dr. and Mrs. Surendran and other devotees. Many new devotees got Mother's darshan there, and the transcendental bhavas of Mother were unique in their power and majesty. Mother was accompanied by her consort and a large number of devotees from Trivandrum. Everywhere Mother gave the highest honor and respect to her husband. It was an inspiring sight to see him doing the arati to her when she was in bhava, and when she came down to body consciousness to see her garlanding him and offering the arati to him. It was a vision of mutual adoration which we had witnessed in Divine Mother's time too. The crowning event of the visit was the last day's program. at the Mandir in Trivandrum. Thrilling songs were sung by a group of youngsters of the Mandali extolling Devi. The Mandir and the surroundings were overflowing with people. When the chorus of the last song was taken up, Bhagavati Sharanam Shivakameshwari Sharanam, she was she was Shiva incarnate. She was the Bhagavati extolled in the temples, and with her hands raised in blessing on all, she went dancing into the crowd. It was the Devi's divine Nritya, and the crowd went into a frenzy of devotion as she weaved her way in and through the crowds while the refrain of the song went on. As she neared the rostrum, Mrs. K.P.P. Pillai, the secretary of the Mandali, was standing there. She was one who had served with dedication and devotion at the mandir since its inception, and as mother came near her, with a queenly gesture, mother's hands descended on her head in benediction. Still with her hands raised in blessing, mother danced around the shrine. I was standing in a corner there, and I felt her hands on my head and face in blessing. With that touch, I was lost to everything. When I came back to myself, the program was over. After mother left for Mangalore, the same evening I came down with high fever and I became very ill. I stayed with my niece Shanta and her husband Dr. G.C. Nair, who were devoted disciples of mother. They nursed me through my illness with great love. My condition was serious, and I firmly believe that it was the blessing of the mother at the mandir that saved me and made me well again. How many times the Divine Mother had intervened and saved me. While I was recuperating, I heard from mother that Dr. Pai was going to Madras to meet the Mandali, and she wanted me and my son-in-law, who was still in Trivandrum with me, to be in Madras. So we went straight to Madras. During that meeting, it was decided that mother would visit Madras on April 2nd, 1980. Divine Mother Rama Devi had started her mission from Madras 4 decades ago, and numerous had been mother's visits there. As in the other centers, here too, Mother Tara Devi knew that Divine Mother's ordained work was to be accomplished. All along, there was this sense of urgency in Mother Tara Devi, as though there was much that she had to do and little time to do it. What would have taken years, she finished in days. Even so was it in Madras. The programs were at Dharma Prakash Hall, and the devotees too were accommodated there. The first day, a grand reception was accorded to Mother and her consort by the President Sri P.T. Govindarajulu Chettiar and all members of the Mandali. Many had heard of the miraculous nature of her powers, but it was when they had her darshan that the devotees in Madras realized her oneness with Divine Mother. The terrifying aspect of Chandika, as well as the all merciful power of Lalitambika and the unparalleled love of Divine Mother, flooded over the devotees like a tidal wave. At Madras, too, with one mind and heart, the entire community of devotees fell at her feet in love and worship. To many who had heard Divine Mother Rama Devi, it was as if the same voice was addressing them, and her words, "Your goal in life itself is coming to you as the eternal voice divine. This voice of Mother is not of this earth, but of her everlasting kingdom," came to their memory. Mother's presence created a holy and blissful atmosphere which attracted many devotees from different parts of the city. The reception accorded to Mother and her consort at Dharmaprakash Hall on the first day was a grand one. There was an impressive gathering of the public of Madras, as speeches and songs in praise of Devi by well-known musicians went on. Mother was in Samadhi most of the time. Charanam Sharanam Ramambige Charanam Sharanam Trayambage. Jai Mother.